Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Laura LeBlanc with us. Hey, Laura, welcome to the show.
Hey, Kev, thanks for having me.
So, Laura, I want to just jump right in. My first question is to talk about that proverbial why. Why did you become a health coach? What drew you to this?
Yeah, that's a great question. The reason I decided to become a health coach is because I see way too many people struggling with things like unwanted weight, health issues, and overall, a declining quality of life as they age. And I'll give you two examples, especially since COVID. So I just recently started working with two women, and both of them said almost the exact same thing to me. They were like, you know what? I just don't feel good. I have no energy. I'm heavier than I've ever been. And I can't even walk up the stairs without getting out of breath. And so, as a result, I'm concerned about my health and my quality of life moving forward if I don't do something about that right now, right? And so, so people are struggling. One, all the things that they're being told to do don't work, right? I mean, we've heard it for years, like just eat less and exercise more. It's like, it doesn't work.
That simple, huh?
Yeah, and the science says it doesn't work, right? And honestly, this could be something for a whole other show. I'd love you to invite me back. I don't want to go too deep into it, but people have been manipulated, right? We've been manipulated by companies who care more about profits than people's health. Everything from the food companies who start marketing to us when we're very young, right? They're marketing to us highly addictive. They know disease promoting foods. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm 60, right? So in the 60s, when I was like, 5, 6, 7, 8, I remember, you're watching the cartoons and there's all the commercials for the sugar-coated cereals and the snack cakes. I don't know about you, but Frosted Flakes was my favorite. Yeah. My brother liked Lucky Charms. But anyway, right? So they start targeting us when we're younger, and we're getting mixed messages all the time. For example, like you'll be standing in the checkout line at the grocery store, and there'll be a woman's magazine, right? And on the cover, it'll say something like 6 recipes to wow your family, right? And so you look at that, and it's all these like decadent foods, maybe cookies or cakes or mac and cheese, right? And then on the same cover, it says how to lose 10 pounds in 10 days, right? So, I mean, it's just, it's intentional, right? And I think, and I think people, so you can't just stop eating foods that are, intentionally designed to be biologically, chemically, and emotionally attached to, right? So you got to do something else. And so the other thing is that I know what that's like, because I grew up on a very unhealthy diet. It's like sugar for breakfast, sugar for lunch, sugar for snack. I mean, I can't even tell you. It's crazy. But and then as a result, as I was in my young adulthood, I started to gain weight. I didn't like it, right? So what do? I start restricting what I'm eating. I start trying to exercise excessively. And, and that would only work for a while, because basically, I'd lose a little weight, and then depending on how the scale was tipping, I'd eat again, right? So it's just like this whole cycle, and it was just crazy. And the thing that really shifted it for me was when I just started to make the connection between what I was eating and how I was feeling. Like, what was the direct result of the food I was eating? Like, did I have indigestion? Was I bloated? Did I have reflux? Did I feel like so tired I had to take a nap? Like, what was going on, And so it just shifted it for me. And, and then I just started focusing on that. And little by little, I started to really learn about the foods, right, that made me feel better and the ones that didn't. And anyway, that's really what started. I started thinking everything I'm trying doesn't work. So what does work? And that's really what kicked off my passion for, educating myself, my own health journey, and also then finally getting, my health coach certification. So, at the end of the day, I think people are struggling, and I know I can help them. So that's why I became a health coach. And I have a lot of life experience, right? And education on top of it. So
So you did answer the next question a little bit, but I want to go in a little deeper. How is your approach different? Because there's a lot of health coaches out there, and we're all trying to find the one that's going to work well for us. How do you
Mhm.
think you're different? How do you stand out from the others?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. You know, Kev, there are so many great coaches out there and trainers who can help people, right? They can help them lose weight. They can maybe help them build some muscle. And what they typically do is they'll give them some sort of a like a meal plan, a food plan, and they'll tell them exactly what to do, step by step by step. And that's great, right? But it's not sustainable, right? So what I do differently is that I not only teach, and I mostly work with women, but I do work with men. So I mostly teach women how to not only know what to eat, but what intuitively know what to eat, like so that they intuitively know what their body's craving and what their body needs. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One, so they can trust themselves, right? Because I'm not always going to be there.
Mhm.
And so I want them to trust themselves so that, you know, which is much better that they can do it on their own, that they know what to do versus, you know, me telling them what they should do, right? I want them to know intuitively and instinctively what's good for them, what works for them, because nobody likes to be shit on, right? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, how many times do we say, oh, I should be doing that? And how does that make you feel, right? It
Mm.
makes you feel two things. It makes you feel like restricted. Oh my God, I should be doing this, but I don't really want to, right?
Yep.
This isn't enjoyable. I don't want to do it. And then if you don't do it, sometimes you'd be like, oh, I'm bad because I should be eating this and I should be doing this, and you don't. So yeah, so at the end of the day, I want them to trust themselves. You'd be surprised if you really start to listen to what people say, especially women who are struggling with their weight. They don't trust themselves. They'll say things like, you know, if the cookies are in the house, I can't trust myself. I'm going to eat the whole bag, right? Or they'll say, or I was at a cocktail social gathering in my neighborhood just recently, and one of the women that was standing next to me looked over at the hors d'oeuvre table and she pointed at it and she said, I can't go near that table because I can't trust myself. So yeah,
100%.
so I teach them like really how to instinctively know and crave and prefer the foods that make them feel good. So
I
yeah.
really like your approach. You know, I like the way you said it. You have to know how your body responds to what you're eating. To me,
Right.
that's super powerful. And it's
Right.
just something when you think about it, like, yeah, I know when I eat that, this is how I'm going to feel. So then it's the trade-off. Do you want to feel that way? If you
Right.
do, then okay, maybe that's okay right now. But it's getting tuned into your body. And once you said that, it made perfect sense to me. You know, if you keep track of it, because we all done that, you have something you're like you said, well, now I want to take a nap, you know, after I eat that, you know, and I don't have time to do that. So maybe I shouldn't eat that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of,
Yeah.
you know, like you said, I like that approach. Now, tell me more about what you're working on right now. What's going on for you right now?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's summer, right? And I think personally, I think summer is a great time, right, to you know, adopt some healthier habits. I mean, people like to spend more time outdoors, right? And there's so much fresh produce, right? I mean, and the fruits and vegetables always taste better in the summer, right?
They do.
Honestly, and there's farmers markets, so it's a good time, and people just feel better, right? Their mood is better when they're outside. So I've got a summer special right now that I'm doing, and I've got like 2 spots open. It's basically focusing on similar what to we talked about, teaching people how to kind of reconnect, right, to their own intuition, and so they start to instinctively know what foods, right, their body prefers and which foods don't agree with them. And yeah, so if anyone is interested in finding out more about that, they can reach out to me. They can send me an email at laura@expressyourwellbeing.com.
Well, I really appreciate you taking a couple minutes to call into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you, Kev.
Have a great day. Bye
Pleasure.
now.
You too. Bye.